They're tender, juicy, and full of flavor. Our guide to pork chop perfection, the best way to cook them.
This is the beauty we're going for.
The perfect way to top them.
Oh, wow, Jamaica.
And the ultimate side.
The most buttery, crispiest steakhouse hash browns.
And Camila Alves McConaughey on Life with Matthew.
It keeps it fun, it keeps it light, and I'm more the, hey.
And her go-to snacks for picky eaters. That's next.
Let's dish. The kitchen has always been at the center of my world because life is more delicious when it's full of food and fun.
Everybody knows me as a culinary expert and food judge on television, but also I'm mom trying to get dinner on the table.
From Hollywood to home, I bring Southern sweet and Caribbean heat, and I'm not afraid to stir the pot.
Good food, good friends, good dish. Guys, come on, where you going? Welcome to the Good Dish.
I walked right out my shoe.
Oh, well, thank you for rescuing Jamaica before she fell down. We are hamming it up today because we are kicking off the show by giving praise to one of the most versatile, tender, flavorful, and juicy cuts of meat you could find. It's the pork chop. Of course it is. We're giving you steps to create restaurant-quality pork chops right in your very own home. But first, we want to help you figure out which type of pork chop is best for your budget and for your recipe. Gail and Jamaica have the answers for us today.
Yes, okay, follow me on this. You might be asking, or maybe you've wondered in the past, what part of the pig the pork chop is even from. Well, it all comes from the loin, and there are 4 major sections within the loin where a pork chop can come from. The shoulder, or sometimes referred to as blade chops, rib chops, and loin chops. And of course, there's also sirloin chops. So Jamaica, walk us through the most popular.
All right, so we're gonna start off with the shoulder blade chops. And these have tons of flavor, but also a fair amount of gristle and bone. So it's a little tough there sometimes, but so it has to be braised and tenderized before cooking. Then we move to the loin chops. Now this has a T-shaped bone, and the loin is on one side and the tenderloin is on the other side. So the more tenderloin that's present, of course, the higher the cost. So check your wallet on that one, but it should be cooked quickly. So you would grill or you would broil this type. And it's definitely a benefit to brining this particular type of chop. And then we have the boneless chop, or America's cut. The absence of bones provide protection from overcooking, and the lack of fat around the bones means that the chops are less flavorful than the bone-in counterparts, of course. So I highly recommend brining these as well. So we just saved somebody from standing in the grocery store just staring at all the pork chops for like 30 minutes. We saved you all that time with that.
So you mentioned brine a couple of times, and we're gonna do a first step towards pork chop perfection. It's a pork chop perfection. Jamaica, which cut are we using today, and how are we gonna brine them up?
All right, so we're using the bone-in pork chops, and it's going to be so flavorful, so delicious. I gotta show
the
you
loin
this.
chops for us.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
Hey.
So we'll start things off with the brine. And the brine has a lot of benefits to it because we're putting in salt, which extracts out the moisture, but then we're adding in flavor. So it's going to be excellent in so many ways. All right, so I've got some water here, and then we'll stir together salt. I know that looks like, that's too much salt. It's a brine, honey. It's okay. It's going to be all right. And we'll also add in some brown sugar, some cloves of garlic as well, whole cloves going in. And I have some rosemary, so that's going to then seep into the pork chops, which is what we want, okay? So this is what your brine will look like. And you'll put this in a plastic bag or a casserole dish, and you'll put your pork chops in there. Okay. Let it brine in the refrigerator for 2 to 6 hours, okay? So then once it comes out of the brine, then we have some here, and we'll pat it down with a little paper towel because we want all of that water to come off of it. And I'm gonna season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. Now, Gail, if you go ahead, add some fat to that pan, a little oil. We've got a hot pan going. These are some beautiful, sorry, babe. These are some beautiful chops here. All right, so, and you can see this, it's hot, the oil is dancing around. That's where you wanna go in because we are going simply for a beautiful
Oh, that good noise.
That's the sound. A beautiful sear on each side. We're cooking this quickly because then we're going to cook it again. So 3 to 4 minutes per side. You just want beautiful browning, beautiful crust. And then, thank you, got to pepper both sides. Thank you very much. So then once you give a flip, this is the color, this is the beauty that you are going for, okay?
That looks so nice.
That looks so nice. And it's not even done all the way through yet. Because this is why when people are like, oh, my pork chops are always too dry. The reason, that's why we brine them. So all of that moisture is in that pork chop. It's not going to dry out. We do a quick sear, then you pop it in the oven.
Take it
so
into
they'll
the
be
oven.
perfectly cooked and moist and juicy. Beautiful with that. So now you'll put that in the oven for 375, 8 to 12 minutes until, check it with the thermometer, 135 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit is what you want to go for. All right, so that same pan that I seared those pork chops off in, you see that beautiful brownness? We're going to make, a pepper relish. This is going to be fun.
Delicious.
Seared brine pork chops and a pepper relish. We
Sounds
are
great.
doing great things today. Simply, colorful bell peppers, red and yellow going in. Color, texture, flavor. Some sliced garlic and the Fresno chilies.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, indeed. So you want to give this just a roll, soften this down a little bit. Let it get a nice, beautiful color on the outside. So yes, the pork chops are going. The peppers are doing its thing. Yes, I'm getting excited.
Delicious. All right, those are gonna keep cooking. When we come back, we are finishing up this delicious looking pork chop. And you have to look at these. We're showing you how to make the crispiest, most buttery steakhouse hash browns to go along with our delicious feast, plus a foolproof fix for overcooked pork every home cook should have up their sleeve. Coming up.
Like something you saw on the show today? We're dishing all the details on the good list. All the recipes, important tips, and tricks, all in one place. So stay tuned until the end of the show when we'll share the good list QR code. You can scan to send it all right to your phone.
Welcome back to The Good Dish and our guide to pork chop perfection. We're gonna put the final touches on this delicious pork chop by finishing up the pickled pepper relish. So many P's in this sentence. And then we are making a delicious side to go with it all. Some steakhouse hash browns. You can't go wrong with these. Buttery, crispy, outside, perfectly tender potato center. It's fabulous. Jamaica, what is the next step on this gorgeous relish?
Oh yes, so now as you can see, we've brought our peppers down just a little bit, sweat them down, and made sure not to burn the garlic. And then we finish off with a little bit of apple cider vinegar.
Oh,
Nice.
Uh-huh.
A classic combo with pork. That's a really nice
Pickled
way to bring it
peppers,
out.
this is how we do it. And then sugar. All right, and then just a little bit of salt. And what you're gonna do is just let this kind of simmer and bubble until the pan is dry. Let that all reduce. So then, pork chops in the oven.
Oh, I'll get them.
Yes.
I got them.
I was like, wait a minute, we're missing something. Get those pork chops out of there.
I thought you were calling me pork chop.
No, not you.
Wait a minute, pork chop.
Oh, wow, Jamaica.
Those look
Aren't they
delicious.
gorgeous?
Oh my goodness. And you can see how gorgeous and just golden brown that crust is
Come,
formed.
come. Bring
yeah,
it
where
this
can
way.
I go for you? Oh,
Park her
here.
down
perfect. But still juicy on the inside. Yum.
And they are juicy. Look, you can squeeze in the juices coming out of them. Nice, colorful, and lovely. And then you just bring your peppers. And like we said, cook that down a little bit more, and then you'll just put your peppers right on top of them.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
so.
All right.
Okay, we've got the main. We got to bring in this side, Gail. What you got over there?
Well, I'm gonna make steakhouse hash browns to go with them because, I mean, these feel so substantial and so beautiful, and I think they deserve a pedestal in the form of golden brown potatoes. But it's actually pretty easy to make at home. I've started by parboiling russet potatoes, and then I've peeled them. And once you parboil them first, so that they're still quite firm in the center, but just starting to get tender on the outside, they become really, really easy to peel the skin off of. So you take off your skin, and then I'm gonna grate them into a bowl on the thickest part of your grater. And this is gonna bring out the starches, and it's gonna make it all perfectly even and make it that beautiful creamy texture on the inside. And then I have a little bit of grated cheese here, grated cheddar, and I'm gonna toss that in too. And I'm also gonna season this whole mixture with some salt and pepper.
With eggs, with pork chops.
Yes, this is the kind of thing you wanna make in large quantities. Make 2 or 3 if you're gonna bother making 1, because then you have it for breakfast the next day too. And it's kind of one of the greatest leftovers of all time.
Amazing leftovers.
Blow it, tell me.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Avocado toast. Throw out the toast, make it on a hash brown. I said it, and you better do it. It's so good.
That is brilliant. There are so many reasons I love you, and that is one of them.
Another reason.
Okay, you want a relatively small skillet here. And I'm gonna take a little bit or a moderate amount of ghee or clarified butter, and that's gonna go right in.
Yes, the pan.
Yes. Better and better. But remember that this clarified butter doesn't have milk solids, so you can feel like it's so pure and clean. It's just the best possible part of the butter, and you're using this too so that it has a higher smoke point, so it won't burn. The butter won't burn as quickly, and you can get that golden deliciousness coming all the way through in your hash brown. And then, once that's melted, I mean, it melts pretty quickly in very high pan. You also want to turn the heat down here and make sure you're at a medium heat. If you're at a super high heat, you might burn the outside before the hash brown is cooked through. So I'm just going to dump that all out like this. And of course, I told you I'm making 2, remember, because this one will be for breakfast tomorrow. And then I'm going to pat it in here, and I'm going to let this cook slowly, carefully. It has the creamy cheesiness in the center, and I'm gonna let it go for, a few minutes. This is gonna take some time, 6 to 8 minutes. And then I'm going to take a plate, turn it over, flip it, slide it back in the pan, cook the other side just as slowly, and what comes out is this gorgeous, finished, beautiful hash brown that we can then serve with our amazing
Do it.
pork chops.
That's beautiful.
Right
Gail.
over here, I'm gonna finish it with some flaky sea salt and, of course, lots of fresh chives.
Oh,
glorious.
This is really a beautiful spread, guys. My goodness, you did yourselves out.
Come at your house every night for dinner, Jamaica. Thank you very much.
What am I trying first? This relish. I mean,
I feel like you need a bite of everything.
that is so tangy. Oh, that wakes your mouth up.
The apple cider vinegar is so key because it brings everything together, and it's tart and a little bit sweet, goes so well with the pork. We also have a tip for, of course, if things go wrong when you're making your pork chops. You can use it for pork fried rice. You can toss it into a stir fry. You could also put the whole chop in a slow cooker, add a little barbecue sauce, reheat it so that the barbecue sauce absorbs, and then shred it and make pulled pork sandwiches.
Whoa, they never know what happened.
There you go, because it is always our goal to make the most of every piece of food. We don't want it to go to waste, and a pork chop never has to go to waste, so you can use all of it and waste as little as possible. All right, up next, Camila Alves McConaughey is dishing about her husband, Matthew, and how to deal with picky eaters, the greatest challenge at every family's dinner table.
All right, it's a battle so many of us face, getting your picky eaters to put down those buttered noodles, like my daughter Sasha, and try something new for a change. And our next guest is an expert in doing just that. She's a model, author, mom, and she's married to one of the most down-to-earth, calm, cool, collected celebrities in Hollywood, Matthew McConaughey. Please welcome Camila Alves McConaughey.
Welcome. Oh my gosh.
I like how you got Matthew to be the coolest on your
Calm,
intro
cool,
right there.
He made me to write that and say that, so I'm gonna check that. Thank you.
He does read very calm, cool, and collected. But you guys, most of the time, feeding him delicious meals as you are. But you have 3 beautiful children. There has to be one of you who loses your cool sometimes. Which one of you is the disciplinarian, and which one of you is more likely to lose your cool?
So just the other day, we were sitting at the dinner table when we were going through, one of those moments, and I just looked at Matthew and I was like, you know what? You the humor, I'm the doer. So like he brings in the humor and he keeps it fun, he keeps it light, and I'm more the, hey.
Both important roles. Both important
Very
roles.
important.
Although I'm with you, I'm the same. I'm definitely the doer while my husband is the humor. And sometimes I just want to be the one who like doesn't care and is making a joke of it.
We had two friends who are married who got a puppy before they got kids, and the wife always says, "I'm in charge of the loving, and you're in charge of the logistics."
Wow, she got off with a good job.
Yes. This is great. So talk to us about dinner time. Obviously now you are, it just feels very much like it's a happy place for you, and the kitchen is a place you go to explore and have fun. What is dinner time like at the McConaughey household? Is it manic like it is for the rest of us?
It gets a little crazy. It depends what's going on that day, right? But like I would say like a Sunday. Sunday usually it's more chill because it's no school, like a little more mellow. So I would say that we all get involved though. We all get hands-on. The kids help clean up. A lot of times the kids help in the kitchen too, or chop things. We get everybody involved. I think that, the more you can get the kids involved in the kitchen, cooking meals together, not just treats, but meals together. The minute they have that, that power of like, wow, I can do this, and I'm gonna sit down here with my family.
Yeah.
It gives them, more power to make better choices.
What's like your favorite family meal? What do you guys make most often?
So I'd say for my kids, they love the honey chicken that I make. They like run around the house yelling, honey chicken, honey chicken.
It does sound delicious.
Me too. I totally honey chicken.
And it's on the Women of Today website, the recipe, you can find it there. For Matthew and my mother-in-law, they love the no mayo coleslaw that is also on the Women of Today website, and I make that all the time, and it never gets old. Never.
Delicious.
Yes.
Well, so honey chicken, no mayo coleslaw, your repertoire of delicious things in the kitchen is huge now, but you've actually said that when you and Matthew got together, you actually were not much of a cook.
No.
So what inspired you to grow this skill set?
I know, right? So I lived in New York before we met, and I would just cook for myself. I had maybe, 4 dishes that I cooked over and over for myself. And when we got together, our first dates were in the kitchen. And he was doing the cooking. So I was like, well, I should cook, right, for this man. Like, I gotta figure this thing out, right? So I had one recipe that my mom taught me how to do it, but that was it. So then I was like, okay, I need to start developing more. So I slowly got, more into the cooking. And then once the kids came along, it really became clear to me that responsibility that you have as a parent of I gotta do better than what I'm doing. So I really start to dive into the cooking.
I love this. And are any of them picky eaters? Have you had to struggle with that at all?
Look, you guys have multiple kids, so you know the deal. As soon as you go, yes, I did it, another one goes into a different stage, right?
True.
Or one day they love it, and the very next day with the exact same meal, they don't want
exactly.
it. I don't get it.
And you go, I just went to the store and bought a bunch.
Because you were raving about it and had 3 portions yesterday.
It's so true. My daughter, Ida, she's going through a little bit of a picky stage of things that she used to love. And she says, I can't stand spinach. And we have a throw-up vegetable, which my mother-in-law included this into our family routine. So basically, you can choose one vegetable that no matter what, you don't have to eat. So if we cook it, if everybody else is eating, you don't have to eat. But everything else, you have to. So my daughter's is the spinach, right? And we used to make a lot of sauteed spinach with garlic and all that kind of good stuff. So the other day I was making a quick pasta lunch, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just try something different. I do it really, really fine. I put it in there and I barely cooked it, right? Just boom, sauteed quickly. And I put it on the plate, and I went to deliver it to her hey babe, it's really not good. Just work with mama, that's what we got, go with it, and that's it, right? And she started eating it, she's like, I love it.
Wow.
And I was like, do you realize that's spinach in there, right? And she goes, oh. And I went to her and I say, because this happened to me with mushrooms. And I said, well, it's not that you don't like spinach. We gotta change that. Is the fact that you haven't had spinach cooked the way you like it.
Yes.
And then she was like, oh, now I can have some.
Very grown up.
You're a very crafty mom. I like you.
Yeah.
And now you say that you have a healthy snack idea that might win over the pickiest eater, because I am leaning in. I need all the help I can get with mine.
Oh, yes.
Please, show me
You want me to get started?
Please do.
Okay, so this is the easiest thing, guys, that you're ever gonna make at home.
Okay.
The easiest snack. You're basically gonna pour everything into a bowl. It's energy bites, and you can use your kids' favorite. So if your kids like oatmeal, add oatmeal. If they don't like it, skip that. Start slowly with the items that you do know your kids love. Do you want to get your hands dirty in there?
Always.
And pour some in.
Honey chicken.
I'm adding peanut butter here.
Oh, yum.
You're going to add honey.
A little bit of sweetness going in.
Yes. Then vanilla extract, just a little bit. Give a little flavor. Now, this one is a good hook for the kids. Chocolate chips.
Of course.
Yeah,
right?
Always.
So you can start with your kid's favorite, and again, slowly, you can turn into, semi-sweet, and then you can go into dark chocolate. You're gonna mix everything.
Sugar.
Yes.
Yeah, some almond milk in here.
Almond milk, a little bit.
Just to moisten things up.
How about a little
Moisten
pinch of
things
salt?
up. Yes.
Well, that looks great.
There we go. And it's that simple, you guys. You just make a little ball. You can make your hands a little wet at first so it doesn't stick.
Okay.
And you're just gonna roll up.
Ooh.
Again, if your kids are very picky, maybe don't start with oats, okay? Just do the peanut butter or the almond butter that they love first, and then slowly introduce new things to this snack.
And so these get put then in the fridge or the freezer?
You got a party going on here.
I really do.
And this is the time that the phone would ring, so I'd be the only one that could do anything because you all are covered.
Yes,
Come here.
know.
Come here.
Come give Mama a hug.
That's what my kitchen would turn into if I did it with my kids. All right, up next, Camila shares the April Fool's prank that she pulled on her youngest.
Oh.
And there's a video to prove it. Stay with us.
Give it a little dressing and
We're back with Camila Alves McConaughey, finishing up the snack her family is obsessed with, her picky eater proof energy bites. Okay, Camila, we put them in the
Just
freezer.
in the freezer for like 30 minutes.
Okay, what happens
let me
For
grab
30
these.
minutes. Pull it out. Now, guys, they're rich because of all the butter, the peanut butter or almond butter that you use. So slow bites, little bites.
But they actually have a lot of flavor. That's what I like. And that little pinch of salt really brings it all out.
Right?
It's delicious. All right, I have here your new book. We're all really excited about. Just Try One Bite. It's a children's book, and you use humor to conquer the dilemma of picky eaters. So tell us a little bit how this book came
because,
to be.
look, as parents, as you know, we deal a lot with the guilt, right? It's got to be perfect, it's got to be healthy, it's got to be this, it's got to be that, and we're always dealing with this guilt. And I figure, what is the best way for us to keep this conversation going? This, of like the importance of food and how food works and what's good and what's not. I'm not here to tell you people what to feed your kids, but I am here to tell you that this conversation is extremely important, as you know. So me and Adam, Adam wrote Go the F to Sleep.
Yes.
I don't know if you're familiar with that book.
Amazing.
So if you're familiar with that book, you know that this book is gonna be funny, fun, it's got a little bit of a rap, and it's a reverse row. So we give the kids the power, and it's actually the kids going after the parents.
to get them to eat healthy.
Yes.
It's so cute.
Yes.
Smart. And does the humor work with your kids?
Oh, it really does. It really does. It's a page in the book that it's a fun page, okay, guys? Nobody needs to be scared, but because in your face, mom and dad, and my little one, it's like his favorite page. It's like, I get to say that? It's like, yes, go for it.
I love that.
I love that. And I love that you're the one this time using the humor, because you said that Matthew's the funny one usually.
Right,
But now it's your turn.
Adam really helped me with that.
You got a little funny bone to yourself because it's almost April Fool's Day, and last year, you and your daughter Vita pulled one of the greatest pranks on your youngest son. Take a look at this.
April Fools, we're starting.
What are they?
Oreos.
Spicy! You tricked us!
Nasty.
You tricked us!
What is that? Set us up for Oreo. We had that Oreo.
April Fools!
Was it toothpaste? It is toothpaste. Which,
my
by the way, a lot of people went crazy on social media, like, hey, it's dangerous, Guys, I didn't let them eat the toothpaste. Yes, you do not want anybody eating toothpaste. That's true, that's dangerous. It was just literally like they just, put in their mouth.
in their mouth.
They're like, out,
They
and they throw it away,
But your laugh was everything. Like, you were like, now, okay, there's got to be some plotting going back because they're going to get you.
So me and they know better.
Oh, they're not going to get you?
They know better.
Oh, okay.
They
Mama
know
bear.
better not to
Okay.
get me, but they are trying to get my daughter.
Oh, Vita, watch out.
So Vita,
Okay.
watch out, because Vita and I do like to prank a little bit. We do have that little bone on us.
Okay.
But the boys are trying to get her back.
You can't give it out and not get it back. I
know.
hate to break it to
I
you.
know.
She was very
serious about that.
They lulled you into a false sense of
They
security.
get crazy. Like my son the other day, he was trying to I caught him and he was just about to do it. And I was like, what are you doing? And he was about to put honey all over the pillowcase.
Oh.
Has he watched The Parent Trap?
Do that.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yes, that's true. If you prank, you have to clean up.
True.
That's the rule.
So you've talked a little bit about your mother-in-law, and I have to say, with 3 kids, your mother-in-law, everybody living under one house, is there any time for you and Matthew by yourselves? Like, how do you get that time together?
Look, I think that, it's so important for any parents to figure that out. Right? It's tricky, it's challenging, it's really, really hard to make time for each other. But I think that sometimes we think of time for ourselves is taking a vacation together, it's taking a long trip. And really, it's those little moments of you know what? Today, at the end of the day, we're just gonna sit outside for a minute, have a drink together without anybody, or we're gonna do a staycation where we, just get in a hotel room that's 5 minutes from the house, and just go hang out and order room service and watch a movie. So it doesn't have to be this overcomplicated things, but I think that just to keep the sanity and the flow of things going, just finding those little magic moments that keeps reconnecting you guys in the craziness of it all.
I totally agree. What movie are you watching? Wolf of Wall Street? What are you
That's a good one. That's a good one. I must say, I watched that new series, We Crashed.
Yes.
I'm hooked.
The WeWork thing, right?
Yes, I'm hooked. With Jared Leto and Anne Hathaway. So I'm hooked on that one.
Hot tip from Camila. Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for coming to play with us. We love seeing you.
Thank you guys for having me.
We're so happy. Thank you for sharing this delicious recipe for all the picky eaters out there and just hungry people in general. And congratulations on Just Try One Bite, your brand new book. So exciting. Out today. Up next, do you have out today?
Out today.
Oh, out now. Okay, it is out now. And up next, do you have flavored seltzer in your fridge right now? Feels like they're everywhere. So today we are mixing up the bubbly mocktails and cocktails you need to taste right now.
You want a cigarette? You sure?
I know. Got extra seltzer.
Has anyone noticed the boom of bubbly drinks? Between the explosion of low-calorie seltzers becoming your go-to soda alternative to the new hard seltzers taking over everybody's backyard barbecues, we thought we could have a little fun with some fizz today. So we enlisted the king of cocktails and sometimes mocktails. Sometimes. Brian Balthazar, you are here, darling.
I am here.
Yes,
Hello.
to turn our seltzer hour into, happy hour.
That's right.
Yes!
Yum.
Seltzers for some happy hours. Yes.
We're ready.
So now, Brian, you are going to show us how to make mocktails enticing because, they can be as beloved as real cocktails,
Right.
but still enjoyable, right?
Absolutely. It's the easiest way to show your guests that you care, actually. The easiest and the fastest. And it's great to show people who don't drink that you care that much.
True.
As much as you do for
True,
everyone
true,
else
true.
at the party,
All right, so what are we starting with?
Okay, first I have a mocktail Bellini. Bellini is usually champagne and peach juice. Here's a way to amp that up a little bit with peach nectar. Let me give you one right now. Let's just get started.
Yes.
Peach nectar. Here we
beautiful.
have apple seltzer. Oops, and a peach garnish.
I'm gonna steal
here,
your
you can
garnish.
take that. And a rosemary garnish, a little lime juice in there, and suddenly you have your Bellini mocktail. Cheers.
Cheers.
To good times.
This is so nice.
Ooh, that's delightful.
You want to add a little bit of that punch of lime just to give it a little bit of that tartness because there's a lot of sweetness in there already.
It does kind of cut
So
through there.
easy. Everyone's going to want refills. And of course, if you just want to add champagne, you have your classic Bellini with a little bit of a punch up.
Now, and when you think of mocktails or cocktails, you don't necessarily think of a healthy drink, but you've got a little something for us, right?
I like to get my nutrition in unorthodox ways. Okay, I've got a drink we call We Got the Beets. I'm wearing a beet-friendly outfit because, beets can be messy, but I've got this great cocktail here and we're gonna make it together. Could I have a little ice in there, please?
Thought you'd never ask.
Thank you. So this is what I call a countdown cocktail because the ingredients are 4 ounces, 3 ounces, 2 ounces, 1 ounce.
Simple enough.
First, we're gonna add 4 ounces of your lime ginger seltzer. If you just have lime seltzer, that's fine. We're gonna dump that in there.
It's very specific.
It's very specific. And if you can't find it, you can always adapt. Here we have some diet ginger beer, 3 ounces of that.
I love ginger beer.
Yeah, I do too. And then I don't want to use a shaker. I want to use a beaker or just do this right in the glass because I don't want to lose the fizz. And then we have our beet juice, that delicious beet juice. Got 2 ounces. Stand back. Remember, when you drink beet juice, you'll be reminded tomorrow you're not bleeding internally. You just had beet juice. And then,
Thank you.
and
It's
then
happened before.
Right. You're like, I'm dying. No. Okay. And then
Exactly.
you have simple syrup, and then you just have a splash of lime. I'm just going to put a little splash of lime in there. Do a delicate stir. We don't want to lose that fizz. Why don't you grab one of those over there? There's the mocktail. Now, are you a drinking gal?
Sure am.
All right, add a little mezcal. Do you have a little mezcal over there?
I happen to have a little mezcal here. I was wondering what it was for.
That's basically, the smoky version of tequila, essentially. Oh, I was going to say leave some for me, but that's all right.
All
right, have a little drink.
Would you like some?
Have a little drink and tell me what you think with that smoky agave liquor.
Cheers. Oh, that's great. It's funny. I'm not actually a beet juice fan, but with mezcal, it sort of balances out. There's that earthiness and the ginger beer. Delicious.
It's actually really, really delicious. Okay.
Okay, so everyone's familiar with a hot toddy. It's a very
Right.
seasonal drink, but these days it's getting warmer outside. We don't need a warm cocktail, but you say that since we're moving away from the winter months, you have a chilled take on a alcohol-free hot toddy.
Yes, it's a not so hot toddy. This is an apple.
It's a lukewarm toddy.
It's a lukewarm toddy. This is an apple cranberry chilled toddy. You think of regular coffee. There's cold pressed coffee. Let's do this in a coffee press.
Ooh.
So I've got 3 cups of cider, apple cider. If you can't find it, just find an apple juice, not the super clear kind, the kind that's still opaque, that's like organic.
Got it.
Bring that to a boil, and while you're boiling that, you're going to add sliced apples, you're going to add cranberry, and you're going to add rosemary.
This is so festive.
And so then you're going to pour your cider in here. I'm going to do that carefully, right?
I know. We don't want to lose anything.
And then you're going to plunge this down, and you're going to put it in the fridge and let that chill overnight. So this has been boiling. It's going to warm up that rosemary. It's going to get all those flavors going.
You're basically like steeping those flavors.
So, and you actually also have a little bit of honey in there. So then overnight, you pull this out. All of those flavors have been intermingling. I'm going to press this down so I can give you a little. And who's my bar lady here?
Right here.
My drinker. I want to have a little. Does
want
this
some
have a
ice?
pouring spout? I would love a little.
Give me a job.
Yeah, give me a little
you
ice.
are on it, Gail. This is your second calling. This cooking thing doesn't work.
Very
out.
good
You're
at
a great
it.
ice girl.
And a traditional hot toddy is whiskey and lemon, so we're going to leave a little room. By the way, now we need to add some bubbles, so let's have a little seltzer. Here's our cran raspberry seltzer. Gonna give a little bit more of that cranberry flavor.
Oh,
yeah.
She's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
too.
And then here's our finished one. Why don't you drink that down and let's add a little whiskey to that. You got a little shot of whiskey there.
Oh, wow.
Getting me
Is this for
very
me?
Get
warm
your hammer.
and fuzzy over
Yeah,
here.
dump it in there.
I'll
Okay,
share. I'm going to
so-
share the love.
Okay, you can top it off with a little whiskey.
There you go, Gail. Have
A
it.
little light on the liquor for my taste.
I still got to do a little work today. I'm not going to hit all of that. So
delicious.
It's really good. You still have that kind of warmth of a whiskey, but you chilled it down. You get all the flavors. So you really can have this any time of year.
she's beautiful. That's really, really good.
You added some really gorgeous garnishes here. These beautiful thinly sliced apples, but you have some other over there.
Right.
Limes and candied ginger, which is delicious.
The
Bringing out the
garnishes-
flavors here. What are your favorite, most perfect garnishes?
Well, garnishes are the jewelry of the drink. So you just want to add one thing. How many times are you at a bar and somebody walks by with a really crazy looking drink and you're like, what's that? So like this is just simple apple slices. You kind of fan them out and then suddenly they look special. You can, let me see if you can get a shot of that. But you just like take ordinary ingredients, fan them out, and take things like rosemary and a peach. And you can go to my website, snackist.com, and I'll have all sorts of garnishes that you can put on your cocktails that are super, they're easy, and they show your guests that you care.
Excellent.
Cheers.
Well, these are delicious. As always, Brian, it's a delight to see you.
Good to
Thank
see
you
you
so
too.
much for sharing all of these delicious mocktails and cocktails. And if you've ever enjoyed one too many cocktails, which we've all sort of been there, and possibly had an embarrassing spill all over yourself or someone else, don't worry. Because it's happened to us too. Coming up, we're going to be dishing on all of our secrets to recovering from the worst party fouls.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. It's never happened to you before. As you sit like a skeleton. We've all heard that dreaded sound. Oh, the glass breaking at the party, and someone inevitably screams, "Oppa!" And you're like, oh, from the other side of the room. You're mortified that you accidentally broke, spilled, or heaven forbid, stained something. But how do you bounce back from this mortifying mishap? And what do you do at the scene? Like, do you flee? Do you stay? And it's a spill there, like the scene of the crime. What do we do?
It is, you're absolutely right. Like, it sends palpable anxiety through my whole body, just that whole scenario. And I have to say, unfortunately, I actually have a very recent experience to draw from to give you my advice of how to handle this. So I went to a party recently that some friends of mine threw. That was it was essentially a makeup party for an original costume party that had been canceled at a certain point in time. And when the invites went out for this new party, it said, it'll be a rave, it'll be fun. It didn't explicitly say get dressed up, but it said it's a rave. So, and because of the original party, people have been talking about it so much, and lots of people had been saying about their costumes and things they'd been collecting. By the time I remembered this party was happening, it was Monday, the party was Friday, and I was coming up here to shoot with our team, and we were so busy, and so I'm on Etsy, you know, frantically emailing people to see who can get me something overnight, and this whole thing. I find a costume that I pray is gonna fit, because God only knows what's gonna show up at your door. And I had one option. It's there when I get home from shooting. I try it on, it fits, it's a miracle. I get dressed up. I mean, this is, it's juicy. It's like a bathing suit with some strings on it. I don't know. This was a whole thing.
Wow.
I got glitter.
Amazing.
My Amazon cart has some awesome eye glitter, let me just tell you. I get all dressed up. I showed up to the party. I opened the door, and it's a really good friend of mine's house that had a little dinner before we were gonna go out to this after party. And I opened the door, and I opened the door to like 12 of my friends' husbands, all of whom are dressed completely normally.
Oh, God.
Completely normally. I have to say, that's not where the mortification ended. So I immediately, I mean, I'm sure my face was the color of Jamaica's coat. Like, I went pink, orange, red. Like, I was so embarrassed. And also the worst part is, John was with me, who didn't want to dress up at all. It's not like I don't want to get dressed up, and I harassed him. I was like, you're gonna be such a loser, the only guy who doesn't dress up, get dressed up. So literally on the car ride up, he like messed up his hair. So he walks in just looking like, you know, he got trucked in a wind tunnel or something. Anyway, he looked ridiculous. I looked actively insane. Anyway, we make it to the party. Like at a certain point, and this is my message realistically, is when you find yourself being embarrassed, your response is what people respond to. So I had that moment where I was like, I'm leaving. I'm going home to get changed. I cannot be here. And then I was like, you know what? I'm a 36-year-old woman who got dressed in a bathing suit and strings to go to a party that nobody else dressed up at. I'm gonna own this moment. And no one's sending me home. I can do that to myself, but I'm not doing it. So I stayed there, I had a great time until I put my drink down on a table that had a sloped edge. And it slowly...
You just keep drawing more and more attention to yourself.
It slowly...
Exhausted for you.
Like, it was like a Dr. Seuss novel, like time bend, and it fell to the ground slowly. Thankfully didn't shatter, but spilled white wine everywhere. And again, I was like, I'm gonna remain composed in this. So I went to the kitchen, I got my rag, I started cleaning up. And that's the one thing, is the host runs over and tries to doesn't want their guests cleaning up and the whole thing. But I do think you volunteer to help however you can, you clean up as quickly as possible, and you don't let yourself get run ragged feeling like you're out of sorts. Because the same way when you're the host and you're stressed out, people read that off of you. If you're in any scenario where you feel out of your comfort zone, if you breathe and get back in your comfort zone, people respond to that. And eventually I was like, see, sometimes I have to show up here to show you what you could have been. You know, what you could have done this outfit. You could have been this person.
But I guarantee you had the most fun getting ready and attending.
Had a ball.
And it could have been red wine.
It could have been red wine.
And I've done that move before. That's not fun.
Hey, but in that outfit, you could break anything you want. It's all is forgiven. And I want to borrow that thing, because that is one spiffy looking outfit you got there.
You have to find another use for it.
You should have seen the backside.
All right then.
Can we hear it for the back of the dress?
Yes. Okay, we're going to look at those pictures after. Meanwhile, I think we can all agree that if a party foul happens, and it will happen to all of us, own it, apologize, help out, and move on, which is what we're gonna do when we come back. We're giving you one last tip for getting the perfect pork chops, plus the good list. Find out how to get all the recipes and tips from today's show sent right to your phone. Yeah, that outfit. Welcome back. We had another great day here at The Good Dish. We had so much fun dishing with Camila Alves, McConaughey, and we taught you how to make the perfect pork chop. And Daphne, you have one more tip on how to reheat leftover pork chops without them drying out. What is
Yes. Yeah, well, I think even when you're making fresh pork chops, your fear is that you're gonna dry it out. So certainly when you're reheating a gorgeous pork chop, you do wanna do it in a way that's gonna preserve the moisture there. In a slow, low oven is gonna help you preserve the best amount of moisture. And here's how you're gonna do it. Take a glass baking dish and add a tablespoon of broth or water per pork chop. Then you wanna cover tightly with some foil, and you can cook it for about 30 minutes at 350. You can check on it, just make sure it's just heating through. The glass dish actually helps because it insulates the pork chops, and the tight cover holds the moisture in as it sort of effectively steams to that perfect, reheated, juicy, delightful pork chop perfection. That's how you're gonna get it done. And I love this relish, this pepper, this pickled pepper relish is so
relish.
good.
That vinegar gives it such a nice bite.
Poppy.
All right, so it's now time for the good list. See that QR code on your screen? Open your camera app and hold your phone right up to it, and it'll take you right to the recipes and more from today's show. And you can also head over to gooddishtv.com to get it all, including what's for dinner tonight. Oh, these perfect pork chops. Oh, yes. If you can't get a pork chop right after today's show, then something's wrong with you. We taught you everything. You've got it. All right, so we're getting started early on our dinner. We will see you next time for more good food and good dish.
Bye, guys.
Oh, the pork chops are spicy.